Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session. We are going to be going over 2025 business planning. This is a group session, so we're going to be going over two different types of business planning. I always like to use the John L. Scott Elevate online version because it gives you a good breakdown of exactly how many conversations you need to have on a weekly basis to meet your goal. And it breaks it down for you. So that's the part I love. And then you can print that out. It'll automatically PDF to you, to me, to Jim and Tony at the same time, which is also good because then we can follow up with everybody too. But also, we do have the newly renovated 2025 business plan, and it's simplified. And unfortunately, Zoom people, you don't get these until you come in person. So we'll have these printed out for you. We're going to make a bunch of them to have in the resource room. But this obviously is a little bit more pen to paper, getting a little bit more behind your why, your mission statement, given a 5, 3, and a 1 year vision, which is always good. We kind of incorporated the KMS stuff in here, that Saul and Jim and Albie and everyone who really kind of like started, things off for the company. And it's really important to continue to do that. I was talking to someone who's been with the company for a long time. They left, they came back, and I brought this up to them that we're actually doing that again. They're like, man, that's really cool because I haven't done mine in about 8 or 9 years. I haven't even looked at it. So it was just a good reminder that that part is really important because whatever you think about, what you dream about, and whatever you put out in front of yourself and project for yourself, you can obtain it. But writing it out to yourself as if it's already happened and you're already there is magical. It's different. It's just stuff that usually people never do or teach you how to do. So let me kick things off. I'm going to start up by sharing my screen and get to the program. If you are on a computer, you can actually do this along with us if you want. And you can get there by going to johnlscott.com/elevate. So that is the link address, or Business Boost. Each one is exactly the same. But this is the one you'll see corporate they'll send this out towards the end of the month or the beginning of November. October is business planning month. That is when you're business planning for 2025. How many people are already talking to clients right now that are saying next year we're ready, we're ready to do something, beginning of the year or in spring. You're already having conversations with clients now. This is the time where you're actually you're working on 2025, whether you like it or not. That is the truth. So you want to make sure that you are keeping in close contact with all of your sphere, your contacts, your past clients. And this is gonna help you kind of meet the rubber to the road. So first thing you got to do is fill in your information. I'll just put in mine as we're going along here.
So can we get to this now or do we
Yep.
have to wait until
No,
they
you can get to it right now. It's there. It's there. It's just that they don't send it out.
Or where is it when you say it's there?
It's johnlscott.com/elevate. That's the hyperlink. So it's right here on the top too. Actually, I'll copy this link. I'll put it in the chat. Wants to know what office you're in. Today's date automatically dates it. Current year, next calendar year. This should be auto corrected, so make sure that that is right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how accountable do you want to be held in 2025? 1 is not at all, or 10 is like at least one meeting a week. If you've never done accountability, that's something definitely you should consider. It makes a big difference, whether you do it in a group setting, or even if you find an accountability partner that you're gonna kind of team up with, either one is great. Number of buyer transactions. Number of sellers. What percent of the time are you the listing broker? From 0 to 100% in the last year? That's what I'm gonna put 50. Average number of conversations to ensure that a lead generates an appointment, 30 is the average. That comes from NAR. So it typically takes about 30 conversations with past clients, friends, people coming into open houses, just total conversations on average to actually get an appointment. So I wouldn't change that number unless somehow you miraculously know your numbers on how many conversations you have with everyone.
What do you count as a conversation? Just text, phone, face to face?
You know what? Voice to voice, face to face. I would really make sure that that's what you're basing your number off of, because that is really where more things happen. And we have to start doing that more with intentions. I had someone in my accountability group from another office, and they're like, yep, I did. I reached out. I talked to like 52 people. Like, wow. They're like, yeah, I was so surprised. I got like a bunch of responses. Responses? No, wait, you said you talked. It's like, oh, yeah, I text that many people. I'm like, okay, you're not allowed to text anymore for the rest of this year to clients if you think that's the business thing. And he's like, what? But that's all I ever do. Like, no, that doesn't work. Like, if you're like wondering why your business is flat, this is a reason why. So he's like, okay. So for 3 weeks now, he's like, oh my God, he's already got 2 listings. It's like, wow, okay, I guess this works. It's like, we get into this habit, you think that you're doing the right thing and you're getting something done and accomplished, like checking the box, but conversations, talking to people face to face and voice to voice, that's where it's all at. All right, lead source. It wants you to break down where most of your leads came from, what percent came from family, right? Your sphere, previous clients, open house. You could put this in, and every time you put in like, oh, I got 10 from family, right? It will calculate 10%. It's going to add it up for you. Sphere, probably 40. Previous client, 20. Open house, 10. Agent referral, 5. Farming, 3. Host events. What are we at right now? 88. 2. Social media. And then percent not in the list. So I will do 5 and 5. What do you want your leads to come from for 2025? So percent referrals from family. You want to keep that the same? You want your sphere to be more? I'm surprised they don't have business to business on here. That should be in here. Okay, goal. Put in your income. Okay. What do you want to achieve in 2025? Let's see if I put this at just to show what it looks like to try to double it. How many total units? And this goal.
Okay, so you're putting units, but are we just throwing a number out there, or are we supposed to be trying to?
Well, if you know your number, you know exactly like what the average price, home sold. And mine's like 7. You want the same? increase it a little bit. Oh, it doesn't calculate it anymore.
That's what I was thinking is,
Uh-oh.
once you put in those numbers, will it calculate your units?
No. Oh yeah, sales volume, total sales volume, so 6 times 700,000. $42.
Can you get that
Oops.
printed up? Or that,
It will print it for you. Oh, wait a minute. Have a Mission. How many weeks vacation take? This whole numbers. Okay. It's got a section for your one big goal. What are your most audacious goals, professional or personal, for 2025? Janet. Whatever you. Key business focus to accomplish your goal. So it's got, your first focus area. Sometimes, a lot of times people will try to get a new farm, or maybe it's to start farming. They've never had a farm before. Or maybe you're looking to get a new designation, a certification, or start doing commercial. I heard someone talk about just this last week. Whatever it is, put it in. And then you got different focused areas. So if you know that you're your main focus is doing a new farm, it's saying like, okay, perhaps mail 12 pieces of mail or postcards, emails, or whatever. So it gives you a second focus item, a third focus item to accomplish that. So would you like to break down your daily activities based off of your achievement goals for the year ahead? If you don't mark this yes, it will not give you the numbers. So this is the one step, don't skip. It's called the daily goal setting. And you say yes, and it fills in from above from what you did. And this is where the magic happens. Because it tells you, okay, so transaction sides needed to achieve my goals, need 10. Sellers, 4.76. It totally divides it in half. To buyers, 5.71. So to achieve my seller representation goals, it says I need to have ultimate client relationship conversations. I need to have 338.62. So basically 28, 22 a month, 6.6.5 a week, basically. So it broke it down to exactly like how many seller conversations I need to have if I'm trying to hit that number.
these are face-to-face conversations, not
Voice to voice or face to face. Yep.
like calling expires.
Calls. You're hopefully in your database, you have at least 100 plus people.
Yeah, well, pass, they pass that. Okay.
Yep. Past clients.
Right.
So it's conversations. If you're like, oh no, I don't have 100 people in my database, that means you need to meet more people to get them into your database. Fastest way is probably open houses. That's, just like Alberto was doing. He's on like 150 open houses already this year since March. So, he's doing multiple in a day, multiple in a week, but getting face to face, having conversations, meeting people, but then more importantly, you got to get them added into your database so that you have people to call and follow up with. So number of listing appointments needed, you need 11.29 or one a month. You got to be on at least one a month if I'm trying to hit this number. number of listings I need, it says 6. So if I'm trying to get, it thinks that one listing may not sell, probably because of the type of, market we've had. Cause my goal was 5. Remember, I was doing 5 and 5, I wanted to do 10. So it's adding one more just in case. To achieve my buyer goal is 406.35 a year or 33.86 a month, basically, 8 a week. So I need to talk to 6.5, 7, let's round them up. So 7 and 8. So pretty much 15 people a week I've got to talk to. So if I don't talk to at least, I don't know, let's say 5 people a day for my goal, I think that's probably pretty obtainable. That means every single Monday through Friday, if I stick to, okay, I'm calling 5 people, having conversations to at least 5 past clients, new people, getting open houses. So if I stick to that, I should be able to hit that goal. Does that make sense? What? Oh, sorry. She was saying something. Okay, so then you got a breakdown of what kind of suggested ultimate client relationship activities could you do. It's saying total weekly, I need to do 14. So it wants me to hit at least 14. So you've got additional things here that you can do. Calls obviously, are number one. That is what's going to move the needle the most. Just know that any type of engagement that is face-to-face or voice-to-voice will work better every single time. So if you want to do Popeyes, is anyone doing Popeyes right now?
I do.
What are you doing?
Little Starbucks cards.
Starbucks cards?
Flowers.
Is this to everyone in your database or just your VIPs? How do you decide?
Okay.
VIPs. How many VIPs are you probably doing that to?
30.
30? All right, that's good. From how many years have you done that, Ramona?
Oh, several. I'm
Several.
very big on birthdays.
Yeah,
Hours.
yeah.
But another hotel process is
Mhm.
one.
And you go to deliver that. Yeah, that's amazing. From those VIPs, how many referrals do you typically see from them?
I work with them if I refer.
Yeah,
So that's my
that's.
passion. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's what I network is my strength.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I do
totally.
lunches, I do combines.
Mhm.
Events.
Events. So what events do you do? I know, Yvonne, you just did your pumpkin patch
I
event.
know, I
Had a
was
huge
jealous.
turnout.
Don't be jealous.
You had perfect weather, a little warm, but it was
Perfect.
perfect.
I
Perfect
need to
weather.
get back to doing more things.
Yeah. Is anyone else? Who else is doing events? Nobody
But
else?
I do small, dinner parties or small, so
That's
it's
great.
easier to do a small group. than
Yeah.
Having 100. That's about it.
Mhm. Anybody on Zoom? Are you guys doing any events? Feel free to unmute.
Joe and the Perkins team did a pumpkin patch this last Saturday before it was event.
Oh, awesome.
We
You
had
guys,
over 200 people show up approximately.
yeah, 200 people. Yeah, that's awesome. Doing those events, I mean, it just brings people together. Now,
Mhm.
the thing about events, if you've never done one before, I would say don't get hung up on what to do. Because no matter whatever you do, it's never going to appeal to 100% of your database,
Mhm.
no matter what. So it's okay to try different things. It's okay to team up with other brokers.
Mhm.
Just like Jonathan said, that I know that him and Troy, I think, do one together each year. So don't be afraid to partner up, get your lenders involved, get sponsorships, partnerships, home inspectors, appraisers.
Mhm.
your business to business partners. I know like a roofing company, I know, help us with someone else's. So, think outside of the box. And you'll be shocked, like the engagement and stuff it does. For someone who's never done them ever in like many years of business, like try it. Do anything. Seasonal things are great. Obviously, things towards the end of the year, business is slower, so maybe you have a little more time. I know a lot of people do pie events. They do the pumpkin, patch, of course, that's definitely a great one for every October.
Yeah, I think for newer people.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend teaming up with someone else, even if that person is also new.
Mhm.
It's just having that support and, it just takes you over the ledge where it's like, okay, I'm not doing it by myself. Someone else is here with me.
Mhm.
Together we can do this. And I think you'll be really surprised by that. And so one of the things, I'm hoping to do is teach a class on client events.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So, yeah, because I do several client events and, so you'll hear more about that hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Let's do that.
Heck
let's
yeah.
do it.
No, that'll be amazing.
Yes.
Hey, Eric?
Holiday. Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Hey, and just also on the size of your events, I mean, we've been doing like our Christmas event for I think 12 years now,
Mhm.
and we started with like I think 10 people showed up at the upper part of Ristoretto's our very first year, and now we're up to about 150 showing up now. So I mean, just start. Don't care about how many people show up.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, events are they're so important. Holiday ones, good ideas you can do. Even use the office. We are so blessed with such a huge space. You think about the cost of having to like rent a place they're through the roof right now, getting prices and stuff because we're doing stuff for a holiday party and it's like, oh my goodness, how much did you say? Add some zeros in there. But don't forget, you have here too, photos with Santa. I know someone that's been doing the Santa one for years and they said, oh man, it's starting to like the last year was kind of weak. Like the kids are older. So we had way less people in my database and it's just, it didn't work out as good. And so we were like, hey, why don't you do one for pets? And people love their pets.
People love their pets.
And the broker did that last year and there's like 10x the amount of people they had because they all brought their pets. And so they, got to find a Santa Claus that is cool with pets. Someone brought a boa constrictor because they did not say, I guess, don't what to bring. It was pets, bring your pet. So, bring your dog, bring your cat or what,
Yeah.
so please be careful. Yeah. Bring your pony. So just some different things like that, but you'll be shocked. Like the people just love it because they have photographer, they took photos, made little frames, ordered them all from Amazon. It was super cheap. The whole thing they said, the most expensive thing was renting Santa, but really cool ideas you can do, just invite people. And you can tell if you have, this is a thing you do. If you don't have that big of a database, the people you do invite, tell them to invite people too.
Yes.
Because then that doubles your exposure. And now you're meeting people, who you've never met before and you're adding to your database. So events are huge. Popeye's great. So this is the weekly thing. What was?
Movie parties.
Movie parties. Yeah. Renting movie theaters. You've done that one too. You've done a lot of them.
Yes.
That was the easiest event I've.
Easiest event ever. Yeah.
So I have a question for all the agents who do these client events with a big turnout, like how do you balance your time to talk to everyone? Because with our holiday events, that's what we struggle with. We always leave the event feeling guilty that we don't have enough time to talk to everyone. And I don't know, it's just only one of you and then 50 or so of your clients.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Someone else is checking them in, so I'm free to roam and mingle. And
Yeah, if you are the one that's checking people in, you're
Yeah.
you're gonna have to get everyone to come through. You won't have time to talk
I
and
mean, that's
hard.
not checking people in and just doing the like chatting and,
Mhm.
mingling, like, we still can't make our way, around everyone.
Right, well, for me, it's really just inviting them in. This isn't about me. It isn't about selling a house. It isn't about signing you up they do the winter trip, but they do that
Those
and
are
drop
great.
it in there. So really, it's just welcoming them and, oh my God, it's so good to see you. Oh, and this is your baby, and da, 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 da. You guys are gonna have a wonderful time. Before you leave, come back by. We'd love to chat with you again.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Okay,
And it's not about having these, oh, and how's the family and how's this?
See,
And
we
you
go
going
into
on
that.
and
yeah,
on and.
We try to go deep,
But that's not when you go deep.
Mhm.
It's when, how about we get together next week for coffee or tea? Go deep
Yeah, that's a
there.
good idea.
How about, right, lunch? How about, oh my God, I'll call you.
Mhm.
That's when you're gonna go deep. That is not the time to go deep because again, you have so many people coming.
Yeah.
You want to be able to say, hugs and kisses, you're the president. Hugs, kisses, oh my God, next. They're happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I experience is when they leave,
Uh-huh.
they come and make a point to, oh, I'll make sure I'll call you this year, we're selling our house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they come to you to
Yes.
say something, but they're just happy that they were invited.
Mhm.
Yes.
and They're having fun.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to feel as guilty.
No.
No.
Okay, hi, bye.
No, I have people who came that I didn't even see at all because we did family pictures and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even see them.
Yeah.
So, but of course now I get to go and give them their picture.
Follow up,
It's another
calls.
touch,
Yeah.
follow call, and like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to miss you, da, da, da. But I have like 3 touches after the event.
The 4 questions, that's what you're referring is mostly for the phone call.
Yeah,
So when you ask about the family, occupation, recreation and dreams. So that's where you go deep and, you're ready to have a meaningful conversation.
yes,
Yeah, you just have to do your best. I know it's difficult and you will miss people. It's gonna happen, but
Yes.
you're right. If you kind of try to control the conversations and try to keep people flowing,
Mhm.
you'll get a better spread of at least evenly talking to everyone as close as possible.
yes. And
I
I
think
think
there's a lot of opportunity also doing the lead up to the event. Cause you're sending the email, then you're making the call, and then you can get a little bit more personal on the call too.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. If you're trying to get more people to show up, a good thing is, if you just send an email, like,
Mm-mm.
no, you can't
You
do
have to
that.
call.
You gotta call. You got to be communicating, no
You
matter
have to
what.
call.
That's the thing. I know someone that did an event and it's like, oh no, the turnout wasn't very good. And it's like, well, how many
Yeah.
weeks did you, start the calls?
Yes.
And you do send the postcard, hopefully.
Send
Yeah.
something, call, text. I mean, you gotta do it
So,
all.
yeah, I send the postcard and then I call and immediately after I call, I text saying, hey, if they don't answer, hey, I just left you a message.
Yep.
And then here's the link. And I always speak as though they're coming. Can't wait to see you or something that says, I'm just assuming you're coming.
Yep.
And I've had people text me back, signed up, done, coming. Of course, those are the ones that didn't show up, so.
You have the touch.
But I had a lot more people because I do make those calls.
Yeah.
And you do have to kind of get started early.
Yeah. Yeah, give yourself plenty of time. Okay, so breaking down again, these are all different ideas. We won't go through them all, but Popeyes, coffee meetings, community events, networking events, hosted party, calling your database. I was talking to someone just the other day about community events. It's like, well, of course you do if you're trying to farm a neighborhood, especially like one that only has like 77 homes, like that is like pretty small. Like you should be able to take that whole thing. It's like, well, what did you do the national night out? And they're like, what's that? I really, if they don't have a national night out yet, then you have the perfect opportunity to have it built for that community.
Yes.
That is a huge one. That one will get you in front of a lot of people. National Night Out.
National Night
So you
Out.
can-
It happens in August. right? Every year.
Yeah, every year.
It's like a Thursday night or a Tuesday
I
night,
want to say Tuesday,
something. It's a
And-
weekday night,
yeah.
evening.
and you register for it, and when you
Yes.
do, the police department, the fire department, we had the waste management company, we had politicians, they all stop by and take pictures with the kids and
Mhm.
everything, so, yeah.
Depending on how big of a community or master plan community it is.
Yeah.
Well, it'll depend on those things, on
Yeah.
whether or not you'll get the fire department, the police chief, but you never know.
You
You'd be
never know,
shocked.
as long as you register
Yeah.
and let them
You gotta
know.
register on their main
Yeah, there's a
site.
site.
There is a site,
And if you register,
National
then
Night Out.
they get the addresses and numbers and they
Yep.
just swing by. We've had it happen.
That
every
one is
year.
huge. Another one too, Facebook, community page. If your community does not have one, build it, make it for them. And then you invite all the neighbors. I know a couple brokers that just did this. They made QR codes on postcards and say, hey, we have a Facebook group just for this community. Boom, send it out. You make it. Same thing for nextdoor.com. Nextdoor.com, same thing. They don't have a community made for that. You can do that one as well. They're heavy on ads now and
They're
stuff,
very
that they're
heavy.
very heavy, but it is an additional thing. Posted parties, calling your database. This one's better be the highest. Send a text. I want that to be lowest.
And what
Handwritten
isn't on
notes.
there is, think about some type of seminar or class.
Mhm.
It could be with a lender, it could be with a attorney, it could be with an inspector, it could be any of those things. It could be a Zoom class, but it's a way to get more names and emails. And you're talking like an hour, and typically when you hold those seminars, you're just introducing the speaker,
Mhm.
but you're getting the leads, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's another.
A lot of you I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, first time home buyer classes, right? Those are like dime a dozen. How many people are doing first time home seller classes?
Yeah.
I know someone that just started their third one and they had 11 people and they got 3 listing appointments already.
Zoom or in person.
They were doing the first one Zoom, a lot less people. They did it in person and that's when they got the most in person. But first time home sellers, they pull up the list of people who've been in their homes for a long, long time and they haven't sold forever. That's how they got their list. So that's
And
another
are
good.
they sending them postcards? Cause I had scheduled one and I didn't have anybody registered, and so then I kind of set it and forget it. I did have a home buyers class on last Saturday and I had 5 people.
That's
2 of
great.
the groups, they are buyers, like ready to go. So I
That's
mean,
awesome.
the classes work. And then also with Kelsey, we teach every first Saturday of the month a women's empowerment finance class. And people really, really enjoy that too. So like ways of bringing value, I think that those are good ones.
Mhm. Yeah, no, Vanessa, that's amazing. Doing stuff like that will definitely increase your database, increase your engagement and give you more reach and gain more deals. Absolutely. All right, so business development section activities. It wants to know do you use a CRM management, system? Do you use a CRM? I really hope you do. Using CRM will actually increase your business 20 to 25%. I don't care what system you use. I don't care if you use the John Scott one. I don't care if you use LionDesk or Follow Up Boss or Constant Contact or even Microsoft Outlook. That's a CRM. As long as you use it for 2 main reasons, well, actually more than 2, but 2 main reasons for calling. Every single one of your database should have home sale anniversary. So when did you sell that buyer a house? And you should be calling them on that date every year. Call them, congratulate them. Hey, Yvonne, can you believe it's been 4 years you've been in your house already? This is crazy. You bought your house for this much. Remind them. I know they know, but remind them. And then, hey, your home is, probably worth about this now, or maybe that's the time where you can send them an updated CMA. I mean, just by doing that one activity alone, is gonna increase your referrals, increase the likelihood of them actually using you again. Because you guys all know the 88 and 12, 88% from every single survey that goes out from NAR says they would use you again to purchase, but only 12% does. And that's because people don't keep in contact. And don't forget, they forget your name in 6 months. Oh, what was his name? What was her name? Dang it, so nice. Oh, what is their name? They can't think of your name. After 6 months, they forget your name. It's not really their fault. It's your fault. You're not keeping in contact. And then the other one is the birthday. If you call on birthday or go deliver flowers, go see them in Popeye in person on their birthdays, you just greatly increased, those two things. So CRM must be used for at least those two things. Does anyone else use it for anything other than that?
I use it for other reminders and to put my notes in so that when I'm calling them, I can see what we spoke about last time.
That's real important.
That is good.
The notes.
Yeah, note section is huge. Last time we talked, you said you're hoping to, make enough from a home sale in the next year or two to be able to retire and move to Arizona, whatever it may be. It is important to, if you are keeping track of those things, because when you talk to so many people, it gets hard to remember everything. So and when you respond back, say, hey, last time we talked, you said this, or we talked about this. What does that tell them? You listen to them, you're important to them. That they can see that you are, real and that you believe in what they're doing and that you're a good broker. I know someone that always says this. I hear them say it sometimes on other phone calls. Like, man, I would not be a good realtor if I didn't follow up with you. Like that's a true statement. We want to be treated at a higher level, so it's like, that's what the clients want. Do it. Whatever CRM you use, great. How many contacts in your relationship database right now? How many relationship database contacts are you committed to adding? You definitely should be adding to your database each year. Does anyone know on average how many you usually add in a year? Curious. Are you adding? Yeah, I see some yeses. Yeah, if you're not adding, like that's something that you got to continually do. There's a cool program that we did with Workman Success. It's the 85-50-1. And what that is with 85 people in your database, right? 50 of them are VIPs. And if they can refer you at least one client in the year, you actually ask them, for that referral. Say, hey, Vaughn, you know what? I consider you a VIP in my business. Can I count on you for at least one referral this next year? I'm giving you like a really short version of the script, but that's basically what you do. And just from that alone, if they commit, yes, I'll give you, yeah, absolutely. Because what ends up happening, the next thing you know, they're talking to multiple people, and if they hear real estate, right, that activates the reticulated activator in their mind. So then they refer you. So it's a program to do that, but you've got to continually be adding people. Have you categorized your database? Yeah, hopefully so. Some people do A, B, C's, right? A's are people, that need to sell right away in the first 30 to 60, or buy or sell in the first 30 to 60 days. B's are, they probably got to do something 6 months to a year. And C's are, who knows when, or it's an open house person, or you got it from a farm list, someone you don't really know. That's typical databases. Do you send seasonal items? Thanksgiving, housing forecast, happy holidays. Do you purchase leads? So if you answer any of these differently, it'll ask you, how many seasonal items do you want to send? Do you do by email, frequency? Do you purchase leads? If you say yes, who do you buy leads through? How much you spend on paid leads per month? You can upload a file of like your cost. Personal engagement interactions. So how frequently are you sending your database something electronically? This is very important, especially, I wish they would even say it like real estate relevant information, because that's something that gets missed. I was working with a broker, very seasoned, longtime broker, and business just wasn't doing too hot. And just having conversation, we're talking about, okay, well, what are you sending out, to your clients? Well, are you sending anything electronically? No, I don't want to bug them. Like, okay, well, you do realize that Zillow and Redfin are sending them stuff every week, right? And, and they're now the expert, even though they're marketing companies, for Zillow. But what are you sending them? Oh, I'm sending them recipes. You're sending them recipes. What do you mean? Oh, I signed up for this amazing recipe card that's got my information on the corner. I'm like, can you grab it for me? And there's like this thing like, oh, make this amazing pasta. And then the very bottom corner, where's a picture? And it's like,
Isn't that
need help.
TikTok for?
Huh?
Isn't that TikTok for?
TikTok for, yeah.
Recipes.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you see, like what you're telling your clients is that you love cooking, you like food, hopefully they do too, and they're getting recipes. But you have to send them relevant real estate information. You're the expert. You know that market really well. If you're not backing that up with reinforced like data and information and things that clients can grab and see, it's not good. Like that they might call you when they need a dinner idea, not to sell their home. And that literally was what was happening in her database. Like kind of just started doing that, got in that habit for years. So really, I'm telling you, housing updates, this definitely is something. I still get referrals from this thing. We have new brokers who just joined us, and they put in their database, they put in their farm, they put in, for them to get housing updates, and literally they got a phone call like, oh, hi. And here they got this from their title person, the email list for a farm, didn't even know this person. And they're like, oh, how did you get my information? They're like, oh, you've been sending me these housing information like for the past couple months. This is for 2 months. That's it. And they were like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Like, I actually got a lead from this. It works. So you guys, I've told that story, that marketing story about the marketing company who was trying to go around and find out like how they can implement like branding and get some ideas. And they had this idea of, okay, let's go to this neighborhood. And I don't remember how many homes. It's like 60 houses, like in this one neighborhood. They went around door knocking. Hi, I'm so-and-so. We're with this place, whatever. We're wondering, curious, who the real estate professional is for this neighborhood. Do you have a realtor for this neighborhood that you could refer us to? And they're like, oh no, sorry. I don't know. We've owned our house for quite a while. Like, no, sorry. They really ran around, and the whole neighborhood, there was like maybe one name they got. So they're like, okay, this is the perfect neighborhood. We're going to be doing mailers. So they basically, Pleasantville neighborhood, whatever it was, they made up a fake person. They used AI, made a fake person, said this guy's name, Pleasantville community realtor expert, started mailing. They did it for 8 months. 8 months, every month, sent something, sent a newsletter, sent postcards. They went back out on the 9th month, knocking doors. Guess what they started saying? Yeah, they're like, who's the neighborhood expert again? And they named this fake person about, I think it was like 33% or 40%. Just ridiculous. Like, just because someone was mailing to them and told them they're the expert, and the funny thing is the phone number they got calls from people too. Ask, inquiring stuff. So like it works if you do it, and you got to do it consistently. So making sure you're sending relevant real estate information is so important. They have luxury stuff too. Neighborhood campaigns are fantastic also. We're gonna be doing a class on that one to go more in depth because they're retooling some things and it's really good. The new stuff that they've got already it's awesome. Is anyone doing those yet?
The neighborhood campaign?
Yeah,
Why do they need to fix the map?
yeah, I know. Some of them they gotta fix the maps and stuff. It's a little bit bigger, more out of, yeah.
So the postcards do work. I don't know
Mhm.
if anybody sends out postcards, but I sent out postcards in my neighborhood, had an open house in my neighborhood. Lovin was hosting the open house, but it had all my signs. So they thought I was in the house. The neighbors came and he opened the door and they said, "Is Yvonne here?" Luckily, I was in the house, not because I was working, but I was there to see the lender about something, so I was not dressed for it or nothing. But they came and they were like, "All right," because I sent postcards, they felt like they knew me. And we set up an appointment for me to go talk to them about their house right then and there, but they came looking for me because of the
Yeah.
postcards. Even though he opened the door, because my signs were everywhere, they thought I was in there.
Mhm.
And they came looking for me.
Yeah. Anytime you can reinforce the engagement of being there in person with those types of strategies works 10x.
Mhm.
Like you'll actually get interaction and people will be like, oh, that's Yvonne. That's the person who I've been seeing the postcard. From the Tom Ferry event, one of the cool strategies we picked up from was anytime you have a listing appointment and you know it's coming up and it'll be in like 2 weeks, for that one house, wherever it's at, you can get like the 20, 30 neighbors, send them an actual letter
Mhm.
and say, dear name, put their names, introduce yourself. I'm going to be in your neighborhood on this date. One of your neighbors is going to be selling. And if you wanted a CMA for your home, I could stop by to see your home so I could do that, at no cost obligation. Or if you have any questions about the market, let me know. Basically you're kind of double dipping your appointments because you're going to be there anyway. So we had a couple people already do this and they got one. And it sounds like they're probably not going to list till the beginning of the year. But
That's one
that's
more.
one more they never had, and they would have never even got the opportunity
Mhm.
if they didn't do this kind of strategy where you're already there, you're there anyway. So they made the appointment. So the person had 2 appointments in the neighborhood on the same day. So doing different things like that can get you more. Luxury, okay, how many luxury seasonal? What support? Do you want any information on that? Next is the hyperlocal target marketing. We kind of talked on it already a little bit. If you farm a neighborhood, which neighborhoods do you target? Put that in. Will you farm a new different neighborhood in 2025? Would you like to connect to Chase Pennington, Access Home Closing to establish one? If you say yes, I think that'll alert him. Approximately how many homes are in these neighborhoods? What's the average turnover in these neighborhoods? The percent. Give us like a second. Actually, fairly high. Do you have a neighborhood community video? There's a bunch of these videos in here for communities. Do you have a broker associate video? That's a customized video. Be sure to come to the next sales meeting. We are having Jeremy talk about the new video stuff that's going to be coming to the office. If you have not seen him yet, yeah, you guys are going to love it. He'll be here for the meeting, and then on the 29th, he's having an event here, and then we're having a happy hour after. But he'll have a panel, and they're going to be breaking down about new marketing ideas. Would you like to get a new video made? Yes or no? Have you ever boosted video? How do you advertise video? And then community involvement. So community service, networking groups, social or service clubs. What community involvement will you join in 2025? Is anyone doing any other community connections? I know some people join chambers, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
for the chamber.
Chamber. What about, like food banks that happen in communities and stuff like that? I know another broker that volunteers for that once a month.
I
Different
go
things.
to the Seattle Public Schools to their Head Start, so they usually
That's
have me
cool.
out twice a year. And when they have like career day or like,
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah.
How long have you done that for, Vanessa?
I've done it every year for a while, because I used to interpret for them, so I always kept the relationship.
That's great. Has that ever turned into business naturally just
Yeah,
because?
yeah, it has. With COVID, we kind of died down, so now like this last year, we're just getting started.
Mhm.
But one time I went to a meeting and the lady was like, "We're moving out of state," and it was when I just got started. It was one of my very first listings. And she
Wow,
spoke Spanish. She's like, "I gotta sell my house," and I was there just, answering questions about real estate.
that's cool. Social media, of course, what are you committed to doing? Social media frequency, seller presentations. Do you have a formal presentation? Sure, hope you do. Mostly two-step. Would you like to create or make a presentation better in 2025? You can do some more customization. Do you utilize black box? Absolutely. Do you leave the black box behind? Is anyone leaving those still? I know a couple people. Bradley, I think, still does.
Occasionally do.
You do occasionally.
I
You do
don't.
too. Yep. They're a lot cheaper now. Man, Bear Printing really got us a good deal finally. They're only $10 now.
How much did you say they are?
Only $10.
Oh, okay, because I
Way
have like
cheaper.
my four that I use, like I show it, but then I take my box with me because they're gonna throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends. I mean, like I said, I know some people luxury, they might take them and give them.
When I have used them, the clients really don't tend to throw them away. They have them in all the material that I give them as it progresses. They keep in that box. I've noticed a couple.
Yeah, I've given like two away. And the last time I went to my client, I saw it at their house still. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Oh, they still have it. Whoa. I have heard a lot of brokers, even luxury brokers, say that it's kind of like the Apple box. You know, that's such a nice box and it keeps things so nice and most people keep them.
Mhm.
So it doesn't shock me to hear that.
I'm
Is it
pretty
custom?
impressed with the CMA hard book though.
Oh,
So,
yeah, the
yeah.
Unibind. That's a no-brainer.
Mhm.
No-brainer. That one is like been so huge for us bringing that in. That was, yeah, I know a couple
Everyone's
brokers
still
win.
$8 or whatever.
No, I think they're a little more than that. Yeah.
14.
Yeah. I think they're like $14 or
It's
12.
not like the box, the black box, that's a nice.
Well, it's very nice. They've got the new, kind of soft touch black. It's I would use those no matter what for CMAs, even if it's something you think you've already won and it's the referral thing, like, no. You get like, set it in that, people hold that book.
Mhm.
It just raises the level of your service. I mean, people are just like, wow. Most of the time, like that alone just blows away like whatever, print out. That you got to remember, most of the other competition are all using the same thing. Cloud CMA is like a $450 a year product. You'd have to pay that every year, but that's part of your, technology that you get. So man, absolutely do that. Yes. Pre-listing packets, yes. Is your home selling guide customized? No. Oh, yeah, just photo though. What's in it? Company marketing plan. If you have a marketing plan in your presentation, your win ratios go up 20 to 30%. I had a new broker. She came to me. She's like, Eric, what is my marketing plan? What's my marketing plan? I'm like, what are you talking about? What is your marketing plan? She goes, I got a call. I got the listing. They told me I won, and they said that they chose me because I was the only one who had a marketing plan. What is my marketing plan? I don't know what they're talking about. And I started cracking up because if you leave Cloud CMA at the default, it made a page in there that says your marketing plan. And it's like generic stuff, very generic. I mean, like you would never even follow that plan, these days because you have to have your listing 100% ready to go before it goes live, everything done. This thing's like doing these things weeks later, like 2 weeks later, doing open house, like no way. So anyway, I told her like, yeah, you left it at default. It just made this page. So it's like, oh my goodness. So, but it's the thing, but it's that reminder that, hey, if you have that in there, people are looking for it because they want to know, how are you going to market my home? They always want to know that. So if you answer it in the presentation, it's already in there. They're like, oh, wow, this person, we got to go with them. They have an actual plan and we can follow it. So make sure you do that. Any of your certifications? Yes, yes. Do you walk the immediate neighborhood, early entry for neighborhood, door knocking, invitation, early entry is so huge. I'm going to talk about a strategy about beating Redfin at the next sales meeting. So be sure to be here for that. There's a new concept we're going to kick off that takes away a bunch of Redfin's traffic and feeds it right to your listing. So don't miss that. Do you participate in every neighborhood postcard campaign? I love these. I do all three every single time. Anybody else do those? Every neighborhood campaign? I see some puzzled faces like, what is this? This is bear printing. So as soon as you list a property,
Oh, yes, yes.
about 15, 20 minutes later, you will get an email to approve your postcard. It's already done for you and it's completely ready to go. All you got to do is click yes, approve, and then they'll mail it to the 55 closest neighbors. So it has the same thing for the pending. As soon as it goes pending, you can actually click in the box and tell it how many offers did you get. So if you got more than, one offer, you can even put that in there and then it'll add that to the postcard. And then same thing for sold. If you add so many offers and how much did you actually sell for over asking, it'll put that in there as well on the sold. But those are gold. I've literally had phone calls from people like, oh, come check out my property. You sold our neighbor's house so fast. Go show up, and they got all three of my postcards on the fridge. Crack me up.
So easy. Yeah, just have to reply to the email.
You just click in, open up the link and accept.
That's for other people.
For other people's. I mean, you could, yeah. Well, there's a great strategy for people, for your neighbor's home sold. You didn't say I sold it. There's ones you can do for
Are
that.
you using her?
Bear printing's good.
You can go and create your own.
Yep, you can do that. Do you boost? Doing boost is fantastic too. That's another strategy you should definitely be doing. Digital strategy. You can do video now too in there. Those are great. Do you hire a professional to take home photos? Gosh, I hope so. Do you know that you can make additional income by referring clients to Leading RE, referral network? Absolutely. I made like $3,200. Utilize luxury portfolio, exceptional homes. Yes. Buyer consultations. Do you use the following? John Scott, buyer ready day one, fully underwritten, approved. Would you like to more and more? We can skip those. Grow your business to the next level, advanced transaction coordination. Definitely something, virtual marketing coordinator, assistant, a VA. Those are fantastic. As soon as you start getting busy enough, those are the first two things you should employ. A lot of times people are like, oh, I need to hire a buyer's agent and I need to get a team, hire a full-time assistant. Do this way first. Definitely don't spend that kind of money. I think a lot of people are kind of forced into thinking that they've got to do that type of thing. It's not a good strategy. You can end up overspending money when you don't even need to. Would you like to hire a part-time, full-time assistant in 2025? You say yes, it'll give you more information. Have you hired a business or life coach? Do you want to? Do you have a buyer's agent? Do you want to? Do you have a seller's agent? Do you want to? And then what is your 5-year vision for your business? And you can fill it in. Now, if you wanted to save this, it can actually save and it will email it to yourself and it'll save your spot right where you're at. So if you're like, oh, I don't have time to finish this, I want to do it later, you can do exactly this. And then it'll send it to you. And then later on, I can open that link and it'll be filled in exactly in the same step. So that is how to get a breakdown. Any questions about the online version? Like I said, that's really the main section I want you to do is your goal, the income, deals, how many. So then you can hit that checkbox for yes, for it to break down and give the information and give you your weekly step-by-step. Because that is seriously the very best part about all of this. Because it's important to see, you know, what is it going to take? How many, 14, basically it's, I got to do 14 conversations every single week. And probably the best way to handle that is to track it. So if you use a core tracker or even a generic tracker or make your own, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to have intentions of hitting that goal, you need to do the compound effect. And that is little by little consistent. And that will equate to the big goal.
Yeah, I'd suggest don't get stuck in the rut of trying to design a perfect system,
Yeah.
a perfect tracking system. You just get in the weeds and it never is perfect anyhow. Just use an existing one and just modify it as you need.
Yeah. Realistically, every week, boom, take out Monday, start the new sheet up. Here's my calls. And another good tip, don't check boxes. Yeah, I talked to person. You're never going to remember who you talked to. So 2 things, write down the name of who you talked to, write down who the leads are, where the leads came from. And then in your CRM, I hope that you are putting information in that as well. Because that's seriously that's the only way you're going to consistently grind and work through making your calls. It really is. And then keep them all in the same place. If anybody does core coaching or stuff like that, you are required to have your, huge book with you. They have a legal size 3-ring binder, and then they do the hole punch for the legal size paper for their trackers. And you have to have it week by week, but then you can go back in time and go, oh yeah, when did I talk to John? Oh, duh, I remember talking to him like 5 weeks ago. And it really starts to kind of reinforce the concept of why you're making the calls to begin with. You're like, this does work. That's when I talked to him. Wow. It actually made business happen. And that just reinforces it, like fuel for your fire to make you do more calls.
Along with the core, they have a lead
Tracker.
And with the lead tracker, one of the things I liked about it was I put in all my leads, their phone numbers, did I call them, whatever. But then at the end of the year, I went through and highlighted all those I ended up having
Detail.
business with.
Yeah.
And it was quite a few that I ended up actually having business with,
Mhm.
but I was able to visually see
Mhm.
that working.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, those types of activities will reinforce the work you're doing. Because it gets hard. It's a grind, especially if nothing is happening. You're doing calls and stuff now. Don't be shocked when you're like, no one's selling right now. Or what this is the time of year when things really start to slow down. But again, the whole reason we're doing it is 2025.
Right.
You're working on 2025 right now. That's why we're doing this. So, all right. Let me stop my share. Thank you guys for making it. Please come grab one of these. This is the real one, right? This is the one you got to really have intention, sit down, take a few hours. I know people that get away and that take a night away or a weekend and go work on this. The more you put into this, the better. And then of course, look at it during the year. I know someone that has or they have a reminder in their calendars for once a quarter to get this back out and take a look at it again. Because I know, unfortunately, some people just do it and then they're just like, whatever.
Guilty.
You don't look at it again. And then it's like, oh man, you need to kind of refuel and just re-engage and look at the goals. And, if you want to achieve it, seeing it, remembering it, why you want it, all those things matter. All right. Thank you guys for making it. We will see you guys on the next one. Bye.